Welcome to the Savage Frustration. My name is Jack Savage. We are brought to you by VO5, VO5 shampoo. The shampoo for those unlike myself who actually applied myself in life and made something of myself. This shampoo is for the people who sit around all day watching TV or playing video games whilst they eat Kraft macaroni and cheese. VO5, about $1.29 in your supermarket. If you can't afford this, you might want to find a lake and jump into it. Topics on this edition of the Savage Frustration. By the way, hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, the notification bell. If you don't want to do it, don't. I don't care. I don't need the money anymore. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to help poor slubs like you. All right? Here are the topics. Topics number 1. Nickki Haley, a ruthless, self-serving person able to fool dumbasses. And there are plenty of dumbasses. Number 2. Temporary Republicans for a night or a season. They waltz into the voting hall primary night in some states and can change from Republican to Democratic whilst they vote for Nickki Haley. And then, of course, the plan is to switch back to the Democratic Party well before the general election so they can vote for a shell of a man that even they secretly can't stand. Number 3, Christianeese, the language of the holier-than-thou, self-serving, lightweight crowd. They brush off facts and details, employing phony Godspeak, Christianese, today on the Savage Frustration. Nickki Haley. What wouldn't she say? What false comparisons wouldn't this woman make? How much is she willing to hurt the Republican Party in her pursuit to gain the power and the money of the presidency? Now that Ron DeSantis has suspended his campaign for the presidency, Nickki Haley will be harder to get rid of than bed bugs at the no-tell motel. She will lose in her home state of South Carolina to Donald J. Trump, but that won't stop her. She'll go all the way to the Democratic convention, the Republican convention, perhaps. At the Republican convention, Donald J. Trump will win the nomination, but she'll stick around just in case he implodes either in the courts or some other way, and she will try to save the day, hopefully to find the RNC does not want her. Every angry word this woman says as she tries to cut down Trump will be used in a DNC commercial down the road, but Nickki doesn't care. Point number 2, temporary Republicans for a night or for a season. One of the tricks in their very large bag of tricks that the progressives have. They pretend to like Nickki Haley, but they ultimately will never vote for her in the general election. Number 3, Christianese, the language of the holier-than-thou, self-serving crowd, not interested in facts, not interested in the picture that is being painted that people ought to know about. Christianeese. It can be key words we rattle off that we've heard from others, like hedge of protection, quiet time, traveling mercies. Words that sound Greek to someone outside the Christian faith makes them feel excluded. Christian lingo like, I'll keep you in prayer. It often means nothing, but not always. Then there's those damn prayer symbols, those emojis that are overused by nitwits that use them like the smiley face emoji. Are they really going to get down on their knees and pray for this person? Or is it just something that makes them feel good? Christianese. It can be a lazy exercise filled with dismissive reaction, bathed in cynicism and false conclusions. It can just be a way of not learning what needs to be learned in any specific situation. There are things happening in Washington that are going to affect your life. The progressives are hoping that you will be uneducated and stupid so they can put one over on you. God's not going to do it. He wants us to put feet to our faith. Faith without works is dead. So you gotta get off your ass. Don't brush off what's happening. It's important that we understand the time that we are in. Jack Savage News. Arctic sea ice is at its highest level in 20 years. Tell that to Al Gore. Tell that to John Kerry as they jet around, leaving their carbon imprint. Record low temperatures in the United States. Record low temperatures. In other news, United Airlines says they will hire a minimum of 50% of women and minorities. It's no longer about who is most qualified for the job. For a pilot who can take off and eventually land the plane safely. It's about what skin color they are. What skin color. Same for the traffic controllers, the air traffic controllers. God help us. In the state of New York, Governor Hochul proposes billions for a migrant shelter and services. New York State already has a $4 billion budget deficit. But don't worry, they'll find ways, new fees for the New Yorkers, new ways for the New Yorkers to pay for their folly. Even in the state of Maine now, the woke crowd, the woke politicians, the XYZers are spending a fortune in New Brunswick, Maine, for a huge housing complex where they plan to house immigrants for up to 2 years with all the amenities at a cost of $0. Do they have to work? I don't think so. We are losing our minds as the borders have been broken wide open And people from many different countries are coming to America, and they lie and say the border is closed. They're counting on stupid people. Here on the Savage Frustration, we will keep you up to date on what's going on in this crazy world. You've got to know, you've got to be informed. They're counting on you being, well, dumb. Don't let that happen. Join us next time. My name is Jack Savage.